What is going on, everybody? It's Brendan Abbott coming to you with KBR Sports, the best sports talk show or podcast of your 24-hour day. Hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves, having a great day so far, and everything's living up to all the expectations you wanted it to be for the day. And you got a lot of the things you wanted to get done for the day. And I am in full support of everybody going for their ambitions and goals on a daily basis. And don't ever give up the grind, because the grind doesn't give up on you, because you're going to have to grind in some way. Might as well be the fashion you want to grind. But to get things kicked off, remember, if you ever wanted a central location where you can find all Brendan Abbott content, you can find that at my new website, brendanabbott.com, which has episodes of the podcast, my blog, and other content you can only find on brendanabbott.com, which is spelled BRENDANABBAN.com. So make sure you go check it out. And also follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports Podcast on Rabble TV, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. That way you'll receive notifications whenever the KBR Sports Podcast is streaming live or when a new episode is posted. And also don't forget that you can follow the KBR Sports Podcast on Twitter at KBR_sports, where links, topics, and podcast updates are tweeted. And finally, and most importantly, make sure you comment, like, and share your favorite episodes of the KBR Sports Podcast episodes so that you can give your opinions on any topic and to show your support for the show, which is always appreciated. You all have no idea how much the support of the fan base out there and how everybody that interacts with the show and everything, how much your interactions, your feedback actually play a role in what's talked about in the show and how the show is produced and everything like that. So always keep the feedback coming. It's always appreciated. But I was thinking today, everybody, funny enough, that how I always try to give a motivational message, give a message of inspiration for people, and trying to just inspire everybody to stay true to their grind and everything. And I always think about how my parents gave me an opportunity to be here, and that a lot of times sometimes it seems like parents and older people are being grouchy and they're like, oh, well, you have this at your disposal, you should be doing this and this with this at your disposal. And to some degree, I do understand what they're saying now as I've gotten a bit older, because I've understood that, look, we have Google, like that, social media, the whole game is different with those different tools at our hand. We can look up who the first president of the United States was at that tip of our fingers. And back in the day, you could only find that kind of information by word of mouth or through a textbook. So it's funny that as things go on, things are great within their time, but there's always improvements coming down the line of how to do things and of how we all transcend and get better. I think most people, you always feel as though you should do better than what your parents did, because your parents, they didn't have all the tools and resources at their disposal like we all do. So I feel as though everybody should be taking that next step and improve upon and retool what their parents did and make it their own and be able to implement it in a way that they improve upon it. And the reason why I talk about this is because I see some of this in the NBA. And I got the news today from Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN that Jason Kidd, Grant Hill, and Steve Nash were being inducted to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. And while I do want to congratulate those guys, so let's give them a round of applause real quick. There we go. They definitely deserve it. Each great players in their own right. But while I do want to congratulate each one of those individual players, that point I was just talking to, I want to kind of expand upon it a little bit more. So give me a chance to say this. What does everyone think of when I say 7 seconds or less? Most likely, either Mike D'Antoni or Steve Nash. 7 seconds or less produced a number 1 seed, 4 straight trips to the playoffs, 2 straight Western Conference Finals trips, and a 2-time MVP, now being inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Nash has become a historical barometer of debate, with many questioning whether or not his greatness was a product of the 7 seconds or less offense. And I'm here to tell you, he wasn't. Nash was great before even playing in Mike D'Antoni's offense. Once he was grounded in the league, Nash's averages over the 4 seasons with the Mavericks, after he got grounded in the league, he got settled in, his averages with the Mavericks in 4 seasons were 16.5 points per game, 7.8 assists, 47.6% from the field, a 59.2% true shooting percentage, 42.3% from three-point range, 90.2% from the free throw line, 2.7 turnovers, and a PER of 20.9. Now, playing in Phoenix did elevate Nash's game to new heights, but he made that offense work, not the other way around. Nash played a part in a revolutionary offense that in some ways has changed the game. which is why he'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I've always stayed true to the fact that I believe great players make great offenses work, not the other way around. I do believe that offense can expound on a player's skills and abilities, but I believe that great players are truly what makes a great offense click. Hence the triangle offense with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. And then you see later on when they try to run it with a Derrick Rose, Carmelo Anthony, Chris, it doesn't work the same way. You need the level of talent to implement those offenses and make them work the way they're supposed to. But when I'm talking about Steve Nash, it's funny because everybody kind of dissects Steve Nash's game in each in their own way. But when I look at Steve Nash's game, I just think his game and offense were the building blocks for arguably the most revolutionary player in NBA history, Steph Curry. In my humble opinion, Steph Curry is the greatest shooter I have ever seen. And it's easy to fall into the trap of characterizing Steph Curry as just a shooter when he's so much more than that. He's a shooter, playmaker, shot creator, deep threat, superstar, two-time MVP. A lot of the same things Steve Nash was. Heck, Steve Nash's full first name is even Stephen. Funny enough, right? But while the two are similar, I mean, just looking at the basis of things, they're worlds apart. Curry can do all the things that Nash could, but just does them better. Can take a dive into the numbers, and I'll take Steve Nash's prime in Phoenix. That means his best years, which is when he was at the height of his powers, and compare it to Steph Curry's whole career. That even includes his first few years when he was dealing with the ankle injuries, which he still deals with now, and his rookie season, sophomore season, the whole nine. So Steve Nash in Phoenix, in his prime, the height of his powers, 16.3 points per game, 10.9 assists, 51% from the field, 62.4 true shooting percentage, 43% from three-point range, 91.2 free throw percentage, 3.5 turnovers, and a 21.6 PER. And his value over replacement, that means how tough it is to replace you in the court of play, 19.1 in 603 games. Now let's look at Steph Curry, okay? So Steph Curry, 23.1 points per game, 6.8 assists, 4.7 field goal percentage, 62.1 true shooting percentage, 43.6 from three-point range, 90.3 free throw percentage, 3.2 turnovers, 23.8 PER, and a 46.2 value over replacement in 625 games. Now that doesn't even include the defensive side of the ball, where Curry is undeniably has the edge over Steve Nash. Now Steph has taken what Nash and the Suns started and completely blown it off the hinges. He has single-handedly changed the way the game of basketball is played and is a testament to that style of play winning championships. I mean, think about it. Before the Warriors came along, even though there were teams that shot jump shots, they were the first team that really was characterized as a jump shooting team. You hear guys like Charles Barkley saying, oh yeah, you can't have jump shooting teams winning NBA championships. It's never going to happen. It can't happen. I won't believe it. LeBron James is going to be able to win a championship over this team. And while LeBron did beat the 73-9 team, it did take a Draymond Green suspension and a Steph Curry injury during the final series, and Andre Iguodala being hurt and Andrew Bogut being hurt. Now, granted, I do give credit to LeBron in the first series when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love got hurt when the Golden State Warriors beat them. So I acknowledge both sides. But I just say that to kind of encompass that they were the main team that won a championship being a jump shooting team, despite people saying that you need a big man, you need a physical force of nature to really win a championship in the NBA. Now, Nash has never been the best player on a team that won a championship or even got his team to the NBA Finals. Curry has been and has his team in a position to make it to their fourth straight NBA Finals. Now, this is no disrespect to Nash, who will be a Hall of Famer, and it more so illuminates the impact he had that so many people overlook. The 7 seconds or less offense is known for being the start of the revolution, of the three ball, of the fast-paced offense, of what today's NBA is. That was the start of the revolution, but it's the 7 second or less offense that gets that credit, not Steve Nash. Curry is known for changing the game right now more so than Golden State. So pretty much in a few simple words, if I had to characterize it, I would characterize it like this. Nash was a part of a revolution. Curry is the revolution. Know the difference? All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for the KBR Sports Podcast. Remember that you should always check out the new Brendan Abbin content where you can get all the central location for all my stuff. Make sure you go to my new website, BrendanAbbin.com, which has episodes of the podcast, my blog, and other content you can only find on BrendanAbbin.com. So make sure you go check it out, and also follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports Podcast on Rabble TV, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. That way you will receive notifications whenever the KBR Sports Podcast is streaming live or when a new episode is posted. And also follow the KBR Sports Podcast on Twitter at KBR_sports, where the links, topics, and podcast updates are tweeted. Finally, and most importantly, make sure you comment, like, and share your favorite KBR Sports episodes to give your opinions on any topic and to show your support for the show, which is always appreciated, y'all. Thank you. All right, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Hopefully, I talked about something that you all were interested in. Give me some feedback. Like I said, I want to hear, what do you guys think? Do you think Steph Curry is just a way more improved version of Steve Nash? I think Steph Curry he's balanced better than Steve Nash. He does a lot more things better than Steve Nash. His game is different than Steve Nash. He's more of a scorer than Steve Nash was. But let me know what you all think about Steve Nash and him being inducted to the Hall of Fame. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. But what do you think about his standing in NBA history and everything? Give me your comments and your feedback. All right, everybody, have a great day.